Here we've got a round robot vacuum cleaner equipped with a rubber roller and a powerful motor. It uses a camera to recognize objects, displays them on the map, and even snaps pictures. At the same time, it vacuums and mops, and when it's done, it empties the dustbin at the station. Wait, hold up. Is this another Roborock S7 Max V Plus? Nope, this is the Dreame D10s Plus. Why pay more when you can get basically the same thing for a lower price? Now we just have to figure out if this Dreame can really stand up to its premium counterpart. And that's exactly what we're about to do. Let's kick things off, as always, with what's inside the box. The robot and the station come packed in a large box, big enough that your cat is going to want to jump right in once you unpack everything. Let's take a look at what's inside. The robot, the station, a power cord, a spare dust bag, a side brush, and the mop with the cleaning cloth already attached. There's a quick start guide and a full manual. There are no extra spare parts in the box, except for that one dust bag. The specs for the Dreame D10s Plus are up on your screen. Here's where the suspense kicks in. We're talking about 5,000 pascals of suction power. Is that a real figure or just marketing hype? Can this robot actually recognize objects as well as the high-end Dreame L10s Ultra? Or is it more like the basic detection of the lower-tier L10 Pro? We'll definitely break that down, but for now, let's spin this robot around and check it out from all sides. The design concept is just like the old Dreame L10 Pro. It's got a round body, the LiDAR is shifted toward the front, the water tank is integrated into the mop, and on the bumper, there's a little window, this time with a camera lens. The Dreame D10s Plus has a glossy top, but the gray color does a great job of hiding dust and fingerprints. That's definitely a win for the robot. The LiDAR has a pressure sensor. You can confidently send it under the couch. The body height is just 3.8 inches. On top, you'll find 3 buttons. Start, pause, return to base. Local cleaning. Yep, buddy, the middle button starts the cleaning job. Why so surprised? Right out of the box, the D10s Plus speaks English.
Start cleaning.
The bumper is spring-loaded and the camera is smart. There's a label above it to let you know. There's no TOF sensor, though. Will that affect its edge cleaning? We'll see. The dustbin opens from the back, and it's got dual filtration, a rubber-coated HEPA filter plus a mesh screen. The bin itself is pretty big. Most self-emptying robots have dustbins that are half this size. Inside, there are 2 self-emptying ports. On the bottom, you'll see symmetrical openings. Oh, and under the lid, there's a cleaning brush stored away. For example, the Roborock S7 Max V doesn't come with that tool, so cleaning its filter is kind of a pain, and you can't buy the brush separately either. Personally, I really appreciate this kind of thoughtful touch from the manufacturer. Big thumbs up. Now, looking at the bottom, there are just 4 surface sensors. Usually robots that detect objects have 6. The frame is the familiar Dreame design, floating with side curtains, and underneath is a ribbed roller, just like the Dreame L10 Ultra. It's fairly soft, almost springy like there's foam inside. The mop's been trimmed around the self-cleaning ports, and there's also a support wheel that might hurt how well it presses down against the floor. So don't expect too much from the mopping, otherwise it's business as usual. Wheels, pivoting caster, charging contacts, and a side brush with nylon bristles. Now let's talk about the station. It's a bit outdated with a big ramp and a long air duct, about 12 inches on the ramp and the same on the column. Even Roborock has moved to side emptying systems by now, but Dreame is still emptying through the bottom. The robot drives up the ribbed track onto the charging contacts. The station pulls debris through the hole on the left and sucks air in through the hole on the right. Under the lid, you've got the standard dust bag. Easy to take out, easy to pop in. That's all for the station. Specs are up on screen. The station's suction isn't the strongest, so I'm betting some debris will stay in the dustbin. I'd say the station will clear out about 80% of the contents on average. Place your bets in the comments and we'll compare notes later. I actually like the vacuum more than the station. The plastic feels solid, the tools seem reliable, and the design is well thought out. Sure, there are some cost-cutting measures here and there, but given the price, it's fair. No complaints about the app either. First off, Dreame Home installs quickly. Just follow the prompts on your screen, and within 2 minutes, you're ready to start cleaning. Second, there are tons of features to choose from. Along with the usual ones like map editing, there are premium features too, like different mopping modes. The daily mode is the standard option. Intensive mode goes in tight zigzags. Deep clean means tighter zigzags and slower movement. It can snap photos of objects on the floor, recognize pet messes, and even let you connect to the camera remotely so you can travel around your house, spy on your family, and take pictures. Though that might get you in trouble. The full list of features is on your screen, and while you're checking that out, I've got time to scatter some hazards on the floor. Socks, cables, shoes, and of course pet messes. In good lighting, the Dreame D10s Plus does a solid job of dodging most obstacles, including cat droppings. Though our first run didn't go perfectly. The robot tried to drive onto a scale, spotted a big poop, marked it on the map with an icon, and then smeared it all over. It also bumped into a black flower pot. But after that, the AI seemed to learn from its mistakes, and on the second attempt, it managed to dodge everything except the black pot. For some reason, it just can't seem to see that pot, even though it should be in the lidar's line of sight. I ran this test 4 times and got the same result. And as for sneakers, this vacuum seems to have a thing for them. But all of this works only if the room is well lit. In the dark, the test ended fast, because the Dreame D10s Plus immediately choked on a sock. The recognition system is decent, though clearly not on par with the L10s Ultra, and it's definitely a step below premium Roborock models. There are also some issues with how it navigates the house. Not having a TOF sensor definitely impacts its movement patterns. Watch how it keeps moving away from the wall and then coming back, while robots with TOF sensors can glide right along the baseboard. Even though it ignored that black flower pot, it did spot the skinny table legs and its own box, and carefully cleaned around them. And it managed that even with the camera turned off. Seems like this vacuum has a personal vendetta against black flower pots. It only noticed the drying rack after bumping into it, and it still drove over the legs. But it handled that just fine because its ability to cross thresholds is solid. It can handle 0.8-inch thresholds even with the mop attached. The surface sensors work well too. If you've got a 2-story house, you'll be happy to know it won't try to drive off the stairs, but dark flooring is kind of hit or miss. At first it avoided a black rug completely, but on the second pass it drove right onto it and even boosted its suction. It didn't have any trouble with the rubber mat in the hallway though. On max power, the battery lasted for 2 hours, during which it cleaned about 1,560 square feet. When the charge dropped to 15%, it went back to the base, juiced up to 80%, and then resumed cleaning right where it left off. That's impressive performance for a motor like this. And the noise level? It's actually a couple decibels quieter than average, coming in at 53 to 69 decibels. In the gap cleaning test, the Dreame D10s Plus completely cleared out the 0.08-inch gap and partly cleared the 0.16-inch gap. That's the same result as the higher-end L10s Ultra. Low-power vacuums can't even manage the 0.08-inch gaps, while some top-tier machines handle gaps up to 0.4 inches with no problem. You can compare it to the Roborock S7 Plus results. We've got that review on the site. For laminate floors, the D10s Plus has enough power. But because of the clunky path it takes along walls, the side brush leaves behind a lot of debris. Take a look. The corner's a total mess. There's some debris scattered in the center too. Unlike lighter crumbs, sand doesn't get flung around, but here, the vacuum just lacks the power. The rubber roller doesn't sweep sand into the intake. With this kind of design, the motor really needs to be stronger. But the roller does have one advantage. Hair only gets wrapped around the ends. You can pull it off by hand without needing a cutter. On a thin carpet, the result is acceptable, although it's worth noting that the Dreame L10s Ultra did a better job with similar power and design. But on a medium pile carpet, the Dreame D10s Plus really delivered, ranking among the top 5 performers. Along walls, the results are still poor, but it did a thorough job on the main area. Overall, this vacuum provides good cleaning quality. It's more than enough for everyday use. And on a shaggy rug, it's fantastic. Now how about mopping? The mop pad may be small, but it presses down firmly. So the vacuum managed to clean up coffee stains after 4 passes. That said, it only cleaned the center of the area. About 3 inches along the edges stayed dirty, which is pretty typical for this kind of robot. It handled juice faster, just ran over it with a wet mop and cleaned it up. That's what the cloth looked like after the test. You can see that both the center and the edges of the cloth got used. That's a plus. But honestly, it didn't stand a chance against dirt or ketchup. No point even running the test. What you've got here is basic floor wiping, though it's done reasonably well. I tested the mopping 3 times in a 172 square foot room. Both the daily and intensive cleaning modes took 9 minutes. The deep cleaning mode took 12. It uses water sparingly. 4.7 ounces was enough to cover 870 square feet. Now, let's check how well the self-emptying works. I had 3.5 ounces of mixed debris ready. Flakes, seeds, sand, grains, and litter. I expected the station to struggle given its old design and low power, but it really surprised me. It handled everything just fine. The only bits left behind were in the blind spot near the flap, and even that was within the margin of error. Even the litter, which tends to trip up a lot of vacuums, got fully emptied out by the Dreame D10s Plus. Basically, you won't need to clean up after the station. It does the job itself. So, let's sum up. The Dreame D10s Plus is a budget-friendly alternative to the Roborock S7 Max V Plus. It falls short in terms of smarts, power, and mopping. The mopping's more in name than in function. but it still performs well on all kinds of floors. It tackles heavy carpets thoroughly and empties its bin effectively. This vacuum will be especially useful in large homes, thanks to its impressive battery life and big dustbin. Pet owners, just keep in mind it's probably not going to scrub away muddy paw prints. That mop is just too small for that. This is a mid-range robot vacuum, and honestly, what more could you ask for?